design heuristics for emerging technologies. This is all about AI design and human-centered futures.
Mhm.
Super interesting to me, and I know to everyone, is that you're explicitly exploring the, privacy and women's health, algorithm
Mhm.
surveillance, and
Yeah.
on this too, sort of rhetoric and ideological framing of AI. So,
So when I started in 2019, a friend of mine in Germany who has been around an OG, what I call an OG UX person, reached out to me and said, "Oh, you're doing your PhD, I hear, at Waterloo." And I was wondering, what are your thoughts on artificial intelligence being used in UX? And I thought, I have no thoughts, but I could do some literature review
mhm.
and do some presentation at HCII. So it was HCII, I think in 2021. That was the sort of the time. And I thought, well, let me just do some lit review to see what I can gather on the topic. And all I was coming back with was the Jacob Nielsen heuristics of and Moloch and all of that. And I thought, we can do better than that. I think these have served their purpose. And you're a designer, you know these 10 heuristics. But when are we going to start looking at this and thinking about the context of society having changed? We had a disruptor AI. And so I wrote a short article for the journal that was entitled, I think it was something along the lines of AI HCI Futures or Conversations with Designers, something like that. And this conversation actually was one of the first published works looking at how do we actually revisit heuristics as guiding principles of design when we say do no harm in the context of AI. What might that look like? So I presented this to my supervisor and we thought, okay, this will be foundational to a good integrated thesis, which means simply that some people go on to do a PhD, but they might write a long essay.
Mm, yeah, it really feels that it's this idea of I mean, you've mentioned empathy a few times. It's
Hmm.
empathy to me feels how where it's not as sentiment, can't say the word, and to me not as sentiment, or sorry, let me say this again so that we'll record it properly. Empathy not as sentiment but as accountability. Empathy, it's like
Clock that, clock that. I love that.